Alright guys, so once you're done that, now it's time for the Rayfire part. So, if you have Rayfire installed on the same 3ds Max that you imported the map into, then leave that 3ds Max open, but I don't, so what we're going to do, we're going to come down to Save As, and I'm just going to save it as TUT 3ds Max. I already tried this once, so I'm just going to replace that. This will save the file that you can open it in the 3ds Max you have with Rayfire. So just open that now. So I'll be back with you in 2 seconds. Alright, so once that's open again, we're going to come to frame, or we're not going to go to frame, what am I talking about? We're going to go to where we saved our file, so we're going to have tut, then just drag it in and hit open file. And this is going to open up everything that we just did in the previous program. Now, just if this comes up, just hit continue. And then you can see if you scrub through the timeline, we have our camera animation saved and everything else. So just like that. So we're gonna go, and the first thing, this is why I had to redo it. We're gonna come up to material first of all. We're gonna click a new one here, a blank one. Click Arc and Design. Then we're gonna come down materials, standard. Then go to the diffuse color and pick whatever color you want. I'm going to pick a nice orangey red kind of color here. Yeah, that looks good, bud. We're just going to apply that to our text because when we fragment it, it's going to get rid of all the color and you're going to have to put a texture on it. And if you have 1,000 or some odd fragments, it's not going to be that much fun doing it to every single one. So we're going to do that. We're going to minus this. Then we're going to come to our Rayfire tool here. Click Rayfire, open Rayfire floater. This is going to lag a bit, and it's going to take a while to back open. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to go to Objects tab. We're going to click our text, because that's what we want to fragment. Add it to the Dynamic Impact Objects. Rayfire is going to slow down your computer a lot, so just so you know, you do need a good computer for this. So hopefully yours is good enough. Then go to the Fragmentation tab once you see it in this little box. We're going to select Pro Boolean, Irregular. Just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to choose 30, but a good number is probably like 90 or 100, so you have a lot. But once you have that, we're just going to hit Fragment Impact Objects. And you'll see it fragment at the top. And once that's done, it's going to lag your computer for a second or two. Mine's going to be a lot, unfortunately. But just wait. And you got to be patient with Rayfire. Don't randomly click. So you're going to come to Objects, and you see we have all the little fragments. So hit Clear. And that'll clear everything to the box. Come to Select by Name, scroll down past all the draw cells, and you'll see Text Frag, blah blah blah. Select all of those, and click OK. This will highlight them all here. We're going to come down to Sleeping Objects. Now we're just going to hit Add, and this is going to add them to the Sleeping Objects, which are all the objects that are going to be affected when our Impact Object hits it and sends them flying. So next thing, we're going to come up, and we're going to select our geometry tab. We're going to come down to standard primitives and create a small sphere. So I'm going to come to this viewport and I'm going to zoom in here, just create a ball. Oh, okay. I'm going to come back up here actually. If you want, you can close, just minimize Rayfire. Oh, okay. Again, apologize for any lag that this tutorial has, but create a ball, try and guess the size of the text, then we're just going to drag that over to our text, make sure that it is about the same size and it'll work. So that looks pretty good. Yeah, shouldn't crush it too much. So we're going to drag it over here, about in the middle, and we're going to drag it up to the top, just a little bit, because we don't want it to go flying. So then we're going to hit Auto Key, come again to about 40 frames, and we're going to bring keyframe our ball all the way down through the text under the floor. So then you can see that it moves through, but it doesn't do anything yet. So we're going to bring back up our Rayfire tab, and we're going to select the floor here and also this, because this is going to stop the text from falling through the floor, because then it would just look dumb. Have that selected with your ball as well, so the floor, and this ball here. And we're going to add all of these to the static and kinematic objects. So once we have those added there, we're going to come to Physics tab, and if you click this button here, it is going to bake the animation and our text will explode. So you can see that our text breaks into little pieces, and they stay above the plane. You can see that they kind of went everywhere, and it might look bad, but that's why you need more fragments. If you have 90, 100 fragments and you make this ball a lot smaller, they're not going to go flying everywhere. But this was just to show you guys how to get it done. So if we scrub backwards here, we can see that they kind of all fly back into the text, but our ball is still there. And it does look pretty nice going backwards, and it forms back up. If you add a wiggle in After Effects, it looks really good. So we're just going to click the ball. We're going to click hide. Hide selection. Sorry for this being so stupid. Hide selection. So now our text just blows up, and if we play it backwards, you'll see that it does that nice little come back in looking effect. So that is the Rayfire part. Now I'm probably going to tack on to the end of this video just how to play this backwards and render it out of After Effects so that it looks a lot nicer. So yeah, BRB. Alright, so this is going to be the rendering part and playing it backwards in After Effects. So we're going to come out to our render setup. It should still be 1280 720p, metal white renderer, and then the only other thing to do is change the time fragment. So we're just going to go, ours was 0 to about 40, so I'm just going to put 0 to 50. That's like almost 2 seconds, but not close, not quite enough. Then we're just going to save it. We're going to put tut on our desktop and change the file format. If you have QuickTime Movie, definitely use that because it'll be a much smaller file, but I don't have that for some reason, so I'm just going to click AVI. This might increase the render time, but I'm not rendering it out anyway, so lucky me. But just render that out. If we click render, it will render the entire thing, render all the frames, all the lights, all the shadows, the breaking, everything else, and it'll show your total animation here. So it's going to look really nice. But I'm not going to do that because obviously there's no really point. But once you have that rendered out, you're going to come into After Effects. So I'm going to let that open. Hold on. Fuck. Montage. Community montage. 8-man feed 3D track. Alright, so After Effects is open, and now I'm going to drag in the file that I actually used in the community montage. So drag this in to your project, then we're going to bring it in here. You can do this in Vegas too. It's just you put time reverse and then it flips it around too. But the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to go time reverse layer. So you could do it in After Effects, Vegas. I don't really have Vegas, so I'm just going to do it here. And then time reverse layer makes the whole composition extremely slow. So before you actually put it into your montage or whatever, bring it into a blank After Effects like this, and then click time reverse layer, then just go to composition, add to render queue, best settings, 1280 720, use the frame rate that it has, lossless, we want to go to H.264, format options, make sure it's at 120, audio output, we don't really need to worry about, so just hit OK, and then output it to wherever you want. So I've already done that. So once that's done, here, let's just delete this. Bring in your reversed layer that you rendered out. So that's going to be this. So if I bring this in here, now you can see that it is in reverse, and your RAM preview will actually be able to handle it. And it looks really cool. I told you earlier that you need a lot more pieces, as you can see, so it looks a lot nicer. The shadows look really good. So the last thing we're going to do that you can add really is, I'm just going to do a quick wiggle because it looks really good. So just hit position, alt click the little stopwatch here. We're going to type in wiggle, and we're going to go 1, 13. Click it, and then we're going to go rotation, alt click, wiggle 1 to 3. This is going to make it kind of rotate side to side, and it'll look really good. Then we're just going to increase the scale a bit, just so we don't have those black edges. 108 to 107 is usually good if you use those wiggle settings. So it's got this nice wiggle. Then last thing you're going to add is color correction. So I'm just going to add a preset that I have. So Magic Bullet looks. I'm not sure which one I used in the montage, so I'm just going to use this one. It looks pretty good. Some nice orange colors there. You can add a real smart motion blur. You can add anything. You can do lots and lots of effects with this. But that's basically my tutorial on how to do this really nice looking tracked 3D text brokenness stuff and exporting COD4 maps. So let's just watch that, and you can see it looks really nice. I really like this effect. Great for COD4 edits for sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please give it a like. Put a lot of hard work into this. So thanks a lot.